Okay, so now we are going to be working on 13.6, which is multiplication of polynomials and special products. So we're going to be using some things that we've already talked about to try and multiply polynomials together instead of adding them. So let's take a look at this first example. We have a monomial times another monomial, and what we want to do is multiply these. There's an implied multiplication right there. So whenever you're doing a monomial times a monomial, all you have to do is drop the parentheses and just multiply everything together. So very simple, just put it all together. And then use your rules for exponents. So let me rearrange things. I'm going to go negative 4 times 9 times x to the 4th times x to the 11th times y to the 5th. So we've kind of grouped things together. I'm now going to do my negative 4 times 9, which gives me negative 36. So that's equal to negative 36. And then I can put these two together by adding the exponents. We learned that in a previous section. So that'll be x to the 15th. And then we can put these two together by adding the exponents, which should be y to the 6th. So there we go. Let's try this next one. Going to rearrange things. Put the numbers out front, times negative 14, times x to the 8th, times x squared. So again, just kind of rearranging things. Let's put these numbers together. Remember that's negative 14 over 1, so I can reduce this fraction. 7 goes into 14 twice, 7 goes into 21 3 times. So we multiply straight across. Negative 10 times negative 2 is 20. Over 3 times 1, which is 3. And then when we put those two together, we are going to add the exponents, so you get x to the 10th. Okay, now let's try and do a monomial, not times a monomial, but times a polynomial. So we have, 1, 2, 3 terms here being multiplied by a single term. So the way we do this is we distribute. So we multiply here to here, here to here, and here to here. So let's do that first multiplication. We're going to go 3a squared times 4a squared. Okay, and then when we do the next multiplication, it'll be here times here. So I'm going to say 3 times negative 5, that's going to give me negative 15. And then I still have that a squared times the a. And then I'm going to multiply this times this. So I should get plus 3 times 9 is 27, and then I have a squared there. All right, now let me just simplify this. This first term here I can put together as 12a to the 4th, so that's 3 times 4, and then I'm putting these two together by adding the exponents. And then minus, let's see, here I can put these two a's together, that'll be minus 15a to the 3rd. Remember the power on that a is 1. And then plus 27a squared. There's nothing to do there. Okay, so I'll let you work this one. Let me write down the answer. You should get 42. You should get m to the 5th, n to the 3rd, and then minus 6, m to the 3rd, n to the 4th, and then plus 24, m to the 4th times n. So I'm not going to show the work there, just see if you can get that answer. Okay, so what about if you do binomials multiplied times one another? You may have heard of this before, it's called FOIL. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your binomial, your first binomial, multiply times your second binomial. So you're going to multiply the first terms together first. Okay, so first you do the first, then you do the outside, that's O, outside. So we're using F for first, O for outside. Then you do the inside ones, that's your I, and then you do your last ones. So let's try this one. We're going to multiply. We have a binomial times a binomial, so I do F, the first ones. That should give me 14x squared. Then I do the outer ones, so that should give me 21x. Then I do the inner ones, that should give me plus 8x. And then I do the last ones, which should be plus 12. And there's one more thing to do here. I can combine these two together. Those are like terms. Those both have x on them, so I'm going to add that together. I should get 29x plus 12. All right, let's go ahead and do this one. So we're going to multiply first ones. That's going to give us 45p squared. And then we're going to have minus 30pq. And then here we get minus 9pq again. And then here times here, minus and minus is plus 6q squared. We can combine those two together because they're like terms. And we get negative 39pq plus 6q squared. Okay. Now, how about just a polynomial times a polynomial? So I'm going to actually skip, well, I'll do this first one. So this time we have 2 terms times something with 3 terms. So the way you'll do this is you'll always start with the first one here, and then you'll distribute it through to those 3. Then you'll move on to the next term and distribute it through to those 3 again. So let's start with the first one. This w goes through here, becomes 2w cubed. Then w goes through here, multiplies, you get negative w squared. And then w times positive 6 gives you plus 6w. Now we're not done. We need to do negative 4 through here. So negative 4 times 2w squared is negative 8w squared. Negative 4 times negative w gives you positive 4w. And negative 4 times 6 gives you minus 24. Now what we do is collect like terms together. So I have some w squareds I can put together. I also have some w's I can put together. So our final result here should be 2w cubed. Let's see, our w squareds, we get minus 9w squared. We should have 10 w's and then minus 24. There we go. Okay, so how would you do this one? I think I'm going to let you do it, but I'll show you what you do. Start with the first one. It multiplies through here, here, here. Then you go to the second one, negative 2x, multiply through here, 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 and then we have a third one here, plus 4. That's going to have to go through here, here, here. So you're going to have a total of 9 multiplications to do there. See if you can get it. If you have any trouble, we can talk about that in the Zoom session. Okay. Let's see. How about this very special kind of product? So whenever we have a binomial times a binomial, where the first terms are exactly the same x, but the second terms are opposites. See how it's plus 7, minus 7? Or over here, look at this one. 3y is the same, but then we have minus 5 plus 5. This is a very special type of product, and whenever you do this product, what you're always going to get is just going to be this thing squared. Okay, so you're going to get x squared, and then whatever number you see here, forget the sign, just multiply those two together and put a plus symbol, put a minus symbol between them. Minus and then 49. Let's try that again on this one. So here we're going to take this, right, whatever we see there, and we're going to square it. So if you take 3y and square it, you get 9y squared. Then we're going to put a minus sign, and then we're going to take this number here, forget about the sign, and just multiply that. 5 times 5 is 25. It's just a shortcut so you don't have to do the actual FOIL, although you could, but it would just take you longer. Okay? And what this is known as is the difference of squares. So notice again, these are the same, but these are opposite. So you have plus b minus b. And whenever you do that, it's just going to be that first number squared minus sign, and then whatever that number is times that number, that's b squared. Let's try that on this one. So this one looks like it's right. These two match. And these two are opposite, so all I'm going to do is take the 5y and square it. That's 25y squared. And then a minus sign, and then I'm going to take the 7z, multiply times 7z, that should give me 49z squared. Here, same thing, the r's match, and then these two are opposites, so I'm going to have r squared minus, And then I have to do 1/4 times 1/4, and I'm multiplying that. Straight across, you get 1/16. So I put here 1/16. Okay, now we have another sort of special example where you have the same binomial times itself. So you have, this is really x plus 4 times x plus 4. So a quick way you can do this one is you're going to, well, let me get to, I think I'm going to write the formula. Here we go. So let's just work with this formula. I think it's a little easier. So if you have some number plus another number and then square it, here's a formula you're going to use. You're going to square the a, then you're going to do plus 2 times a times b, and then plus b squared. And if you have a minus sign here, it's the same formula except this is a minus. So let's take a look at this first one here. So for us, we have a minus sign between them, so we're looking at this one here. The a for us is actually 6a, and the b for us is the 1. So let's just follow the formula. First thing is, what's a squared? Well, for us, that's 6a times 6a, that's 36a squared. Then we have to do minus 2 times, so I'm doing minus 2 times, and then a times b, which for us is 6a times 1, and then plus b squared. So plus, and then b for us was 1, so 1 squared is 1. So when you're done with this, you should get that. I think I'm going to leave this one to you. And I think I'm probably going to have some questions on that in our Zoom session, which is fine. I can work through some more examples.